Greetings, hi, TheWarOwl greets you, and welcome to another episode of Strat Talk, the series where we talk about strategies for the game Counter-Strike Global Offensive. We take a professional match, we take one round from that match that was particularly interesting, and then we analyze it, figure out what happened. So I'm going to let the auto-director run here in this match, and then afterwards we're going to hop back and check out exactly what happened. So this one is going to be coming to us from Wizards versus Team LDLC on Nuke. Nuke is a very unique map in terms of its layout, and one where the CTs are able to very quickly rotate between the bomb sites. So this strategy from Team LDLC was set up to be, gotta love that stuff, was set up to be a split B, a split downstairs. They sent some of their players outside, and then the rest of them stayed lobby. Players inside of the players went secret, who went outside, and the players inside of lobby eventually went ramp, and they took downstairs. But watch, they pretty much only engage one counter-terrorist at a time throughout this, and it's just so deadly how they do it. It just was like a perfect round for them. So you see how quickly they switched that terrorist out when they were engaging that player. So even with one player lurking inside of the downstairs and completely giving outside, which was a good CT side setup to deal with it, you'll notice that Team LDLC won 5-0 there and just rolled him. All right, let's hop back and figure out exactly what happened there. Here we are at the start of the round. As we see by the money, both teams are able to buy up. Counter-terrorists are well ahead in the money, even enough to afford three Molotovs, 5 smokes. So all they have to do is set up the proper way. Let's check out first here the CT side setup from the Wizards. So it actually looks a little bit like a standard setup. The only differentiation from being a standard setup is that Musambani, or a player, is not going to be playing outside. So a standard setup, let's go a little bit further here. They have, okay, at this point, they have one player playing up in the rafters. They have one player playing on the ground. That's how you play A. It's generally good to have that. You also have one player as a rotate player. That's going to be Flippin'. He can always go up that ladder and help out inside of bomb site A upstairs if he needs to. He can also help out at ramp if he needs to. He can also help out at outside if he needs to. But by not having a dedicated outside player, Flippin' is forced to watch outside. And at the same time, I mean, that means counter-terrorists can really do whatever they want. They've given position outside already in this thing to Team LDLC. They don't have to work for it. So we have carry is going to be the ramp player. One player watching ramp, watching radio. Make sure that on one player throws that defensive smoke. That was going to be Musambani throwing the first smoke there. They can actually use 3 smokes because Flippin' has a smoke. So Musambani, as you see, he's actually not going to play ramp. He's going to go downstairs and lurk in it. He's going to hide. Flippin' could come back and throw his smoke. Oh, he's actually thrown it already, and so has Musambani. Never mind. I think they wasted that. So yeah, they only have one more smoke here, add ramp to hold it off, and that's going to be on carry. The only deviation is going to be this guy. And you'll see he runs downstairs. I don't really understand the point of this, and I think this is where it all fell apart here for the Wizards on this, and allowed Team LDLC's strategy of a split B to work so well. Musambani runs downstairs and lurks and just stands here inside of the bomb site. So by doing this, he's given position to Team LDLC. They can easily take outside. They can easily take downstairs, as they already have. We're going to go back in time. We're going to watch, now that we have the CT side set up, we're going to watch Team LDLC from the perspective of how Wizards is set up and how this strategy from LDLC really works out well. From the beginning of this strategy, Team LDLC was planning to take secret, take lobby, and then plan to either do an outside take, or I'm sorry, a downstairs take, which is a split, or an A split, which you could come to going up the vents. So at the start, they send 3 players outside. They are going to throw the smokes. These are common smokes to block off the cross, prevent them from getting shot from outside. So a player outside, which is Flippin', is not going to be able to see them. Terrorists will easily run through outside and take position secret. So at this point, secret is down. Wizards know it. What most teams are going to do in this situation is rotate a player downstairs to deal with it. The player who's playing by the vents or one of the rotate players. Flippin' could actually rotate downstairs by going down the ramp. Carry could rotate downstairs, and Flippin could take the position at ramp. Wizards do not do any of this. The other thing they could do is they already have a player downstairs. Muzimbani could have played from a good way to hold it off, which is on the stairs. I'll show you that from the terrorist perspective when they get that far downstairs. I think Callie is the one who's going to peek here. And right here. There are two places where Muzimbani could be playing to hold this off. One of them, the most common one, is going to be on that stairs there. It's very difficult to deal with. You show your head. You're generally have an engagement right here. Wizards, once again, just gives this position to Team LDLC. And by giving this position, they also give the back halls, which allows terrorists to have an opportunity to take bomb site A or bomb site B. So that splits Wizards across the map, even if they didn't lose this player who's right now getting wall banged by Happy. Gotta love that. Just comes up here and just wall bangs him. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. My goodness. So that blow to Wizards shouldn't just knock them out of this round. That one pick wasn't enough to break them. However, it was pretty severe because it took out one player, took out a position that they could watch. However, they're not watching a certain position. They have a player to do. Right now, Muzimbani he's useless where he's standing. There's nothing that he can do to help. All he's doing is if they sneak and try to plant the bomb, I don't surprise them. I don't know. I don't really understand the purpose of putting a player there. And now terrorists have taken downstairs. They've taken so much position. They can go anywhere they want. They've taken a pick. They still have those two players inside of the lobby. So right now they have decided, they have that bomb dropped, we're going to split downstairs. These two players are going to go through ramp. Let's look at it from our minimap. It's kind of difficult to understand with Nuke because it's such a crazy map. So where Muzimbani is downstairs, check this out. If terrorists were to take ramp position, they already have the entire downstairs here. They can take B from, let's look at how many places. This is one of the vents, another one of the vents. This is the back halls here, which they've given position. The doors, the window up here. Then after they've taken position here, they can come down to this side and this side. And terrorists have position all over here if they can take out Carry. And check that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 ways into downstairs. That is scary. How are you supposed to deal with that? One player dealing with that. So what LDLC accomplishes here is they're going to engage the Wizards players, engage these counter-terrorists, one at a time. They've already picked off one. It's very nice. So we're happy as right now, as the lurk player, he doesn't have to rotate and help out anywhere. His job is to kill rotators, and the best way to do that right now, because they're going to be taking bomb site downstairs, bomb site B, is to go upstairs and try to grab those players as they go downstairs. And I think that's exactly what Happy is going to do in a little bit. In the meantime, we're going to finally have the attack on ramp. So at ramp, when you're a solo player holding this, the rotate player Flippin has gone upstairs. Because of that loss, Flippin has rotated upstairs, so they still have two players, one in the rafters, one on the floor. So by losing the rotate player, Carry is not going to be able to hold ramp because he's one player versus how many want to push. He doesn't have that help. So as soon as these terrorists engage, when this smoke clears, Carry is going to have to drop downstairs. And that's exactly what he does. It's the right call. So here the terrorists, the smoke is cleared. They're just about to push. 2-on-1. You do not want to be in this situation. So, Carry's in some trouble. Down to 2 health. Has to be like, okay, time to get out of here. Is running away, but guess what happened? Muzimbani is not able to stop Apex. Apex attacks ramp from below. So now Carry has 3 players on him. Check this out. Muzimbani, now's your chance. Now's your chance. Just now engaging. Apex is able to take Carry, and Muzimbani misses the shot. So that's so unfortunate there for Wizards. Terrorists just absolutely rolled it. They had 3 players on 1 at the same time. And now Wizards only has 3 players left. And as you'll see, they'll engage them very well. So Happy here is going to be what I said before, taking upstairs. Maniac grabbing a frag off of Flippin, who had rotated. Looking the wrong way. I don't know where Mason was looking. I mean, it was obvious at this point that terrorists were taking downstairs. So looking to the right like that, even when you know a player was up on top of the marshmallow, doesn't really make sense. And for that, he is punished with death. And terrorists move in downstairs and now converge 4 players on 1 to take out Musambani, who's still hiding in the back of the site. Look at that. All 4 of these players were shooting him down. Look at that poor guy. That is nasty. You can see him there just through the bars. Wow. He got taken apart. That was like RoboCop, the first RoboCop, guys. But he just gets destroyed. My goodness. The gangster-style killing, like the Godfather at the toll booth. You know what I'm talking about. My goodness. Lovely, lovely strategy from Team LDLC here on Nuke as Split B, able to engage these players one at a time. Superior numbers. That is how you play Counter-Strike. Thank you folks very much for watching. I am TheWarOwl, and I still have no closer